Welcome back to the Social Hotelier. I'm your host, Sam-Erik. Today, I'm joined by a good friend and a respected leader in our industry, Mark Dardan. He's a Chief Executive Officer of Modern Hospitality. Mark continues to push boundaries with projects like the Olympia Resort Abu Dhabi, an ambitious blend of performance, well-being, and purposeful lifestyle hospitality taking shape on Budayriyat Island. We'll be exploring the thinking behind Olympia, how movement and recovery informs its design, and what it signals for the future of healthy, active travel. Mark brings a global perspective, a sharp operational mind, and real passion for creating places that elevate where people live. So before we dive in, Mark, I have to highlight something personal. You're in your senior years like me, and we used to play tennis in Bali a few years ago. We were much younger. We can wake up early in the morning, hit some balls. And yet you're training for a triathlon, which makes me really envious. I see these pictures posted in LinkedIn where you're just getting ready for another race. I want to hear what keeps you motivated and what drives that discipline, how this mindset informs the experiences you're creating for others. Mark, great to have you back on the show. So tell me about this triathlon.
Thank you, Sam. Always great to be back here. I always enjoyed sports, any sports, and obviously we play tennis, play golf. I just think it's a great way to relax, and I never feel that I have to go, but sometimes it's a discipline, So I'm certainly very disciplined. So I plan my workouts in advance, etc. And I like triathlon because it's swimming, which I enjoy, biking, and then running at the end, which I don't enjoy that much. But it's just a great sport. And being part of a big group of people, it's motivating. And it's not really the time that you take to cross the line. It's just the fact to participate. And I just love it.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good in running. Swimming definitely is not my forte, and biking I would do, but I never got around doing a triathlon. But how does this thing, what you're doing in your kind of a athletic activities and training, relate to what we're going to talk about, which is this interesting resort?
Yeah, I think Olympia is in a white space, and you know me right from the past. I'm always looking for white spaces, and I had the privilege to be part of the creation of several brands, right? Like the Address here in Dubai. Then we had Patina in Asia, and recently I was involved in creation of brands in Saudi Arabia. We've done the same thing here in Abu Dhabi. And, it's, I must really say it's getting a little bit more difficult to find these white spaces. I mean, where brands are not, and, to be really in line and read the future and be in line for the new trends, right? So I think Olympia falls exactly into that, right? When you look at trends today, it's all about living better, longer. People want to look after themselves, etc. So, and certainly lifestyle have been around, so combining actually increasing performance and also lifestyle is a white space in my eyes.
Very good. But from your vantage point, how do you see performance science and hospitality blending in a way that genuinely shifts guest expectations, not just adds as a new feature?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect blend. It's certainly new to market. I mean, some other brands have ventured in that area. I would say a brand like Equinox, obviously their first hotel in New York, and opening a few more hotels around the world. You have also here locally in the UAE, Cyro, which is a brand that was created by Kersner. And, I think that's the two major brands that I know. So, I think certainly Olympia will fall in that category, and combining that lifestyle aspect with high performance, I think is something completely new, and will certainly create has already created a lot of interest in the market.
But when you shape a resort around movement, balance, and recovery, what deeper human motivations do you believe you're tapping into?
I think it's a little bit what I mentioned before. I think people, want to look after themselves better. And I think it's maybe the experience of COVID, when we went through 2 years of trauma, uh, where a lot of people were affected obviously by COVID. And, post COVID, there's a couple of trends that I've seen. One is that people wanted to travel on experience at any price. So they would prefer to spend money on travel and going abroad and visiting, etc., versus maybe buying a bag or buying something material. And first we thought it was revenge travel, but actually it really stayed. So that's really one aspect. The other aspect, I think, post COVID was really that generally people wanted to look after their health. They suddenly realized, this is something I have to do. And you look also at the younger generation. For example, in the US, in Europe also, you can see that the younger generation actually also drinks less alcohol, right? So now you have even bars that opening up without alcohol. There's mixed drinks, etc. So you see that the younger generation is really on that trend. So I think that's really the two answer to your questions.
Yeah, I mean, I see it here in the Nordics also. There are brands that are promoting that they are alcohol free. There are events going on actually earlier in the day where people just go in, start dancing and have a coffee, and it's not like about having a late night in a nightclub. So yeah, there's a different shift how people are want to spend their time, and also health is becoming such a people talk about it. I mean, I read every day virtually about something going on that. Remember when by the time you're turning 60, if you fall and you break your hip, you might die in 1 year. That's pretty scary thought. So it really is so important to look after yourself and so on. Tell me a little bit about this resort that you have developed. I mean, I got the impression it's for high performance athletes, but you're now saying, no, it's not for that. It's for a lot of people.
I think, initially it was really conceived with that in mind, because Hudriyat is an island that Modern is developing, and we have several projects that we have developed. One is Surf Abu Dhabi. It's the longest artificial surf wave in the world. And we are really attracting athletes from all over the world. We had recently a world championship. It is also accessible for normal people. It's quite expensive, but still accessible. Then we have a high performance center where we inviting athletes, especially from Europe during the cold season, to come and train, or teams to come and train. We're opening a velodrome. That's next year, first quarter next year, that will host the World Championships of cycling. So that island has been developed. One part of the island has been developed in view of high performance. And when I looked at the hotel, it was on the planning. I said, look, if we really only focus on high performance, I'm not sure if the hotel is going to be successful. Why don't we combine the high performance with really normal people like you and I, right? Because we like to sleep better. We like, certainly to a certain extent, work out, etc. And we like to see also athletes, right? It's always so exciting to see professionals, the way they train, and the way they are, and you see famous cyclists and the world champion of surf. For me, it doesn't matter what sport, it's always quite exciting. So I think that's certainly so. We decided to really attract non-athletes also. The other part is that athletes, when they train a lot, or they have families. and to provide a resort to the families of the athletes, so the wife can maybe relax around the pool with the kids, etc., and he can focus on training, on vice versa. Obviously, if it's a female athlete, she might have a husband, etc. So I think that combination is going to work really nicely.
Yeah. When sport, family, and lifestyle design coexist in one resort, how does that challenge the traditional narrative of luxury that the industry still clings to?
Yeah, I think, we all know that luxury has evolved, from the 10, 20. When we started our careers, everything was about palaces or marble and chandeliers. That was the typical luxury. Now the luxury has completely evolved, and you have the ultra, I call that the ultra luxury, which is really, remote camps. And I hate to talk about the experience because everybody speaks about the experiences, but certainly that's what it is, right? Trekking in the Tibet and sleeping in, maybe in a nice hut, etc., where you spend $2,000-3,000 a day, right? So that's the new luxury. The traditional luxury will still remain, So for me, luxury is really it's really everybody's perception. So you can have traditional luxury, you can have and what we're offering, I wouldn't call it luxury. I would say it's more on the lifestyle and experience side, right? So we will have outstanding service, great people, motivated. Anything that you want is going to be there. We have a beautiful spa. We have an outdoor pool. We have a rooftop bar. We have all the facilities. But I think I wouldn't describe it as luxury. I would be more in the category of lifestyle.
Yeah. As it was originally designed for high performance athletes, you have these recovery tools for them. So can you talk a little bit about what are the things that typically a high performance athlete need in order to recover, and also how this now relates to people who are coming, like you and me, we go there for in a way how we are exercising.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it was a learning curve for me also. I didn't really know about the hypoxia rooms where you actually reduce the oxygen level. And I thought it was a little scary to say, okay, you're going to reduce the oxygen level. It's just a few percentages, but it helps with the recovery for the athletes. And I'm saying, look, if an athlete can recover, why can't we recover also and have the same benefits, right? So I think that's one. The other one that we put a lot of emphasis on is the sleep experience.
Yeah.
When you think really, how many hours do you spend in a bed in a hotel? 6, 7, maybe 8 hours. And how much care is there in the selection of the mattress, right? So we selected a mattress that will certainly help the athletes to recover. But you and I need a good sleep, right? So, and it's so important today. And it's really proven that, having a good sleep will help, will give you a great health benefit, right? So that's the segment. And then we have all the recovery tools that athletes use, the boots, etc. That all of us can. We can go for a long walk, for a bike cycle, and then afterwards go through the same routine that the athletes would go. Take an ice bath, have a nice relaxing massage, have some recovery boots, etc., etc. So you really don't have to be an athlete to go through these whole processes. So you will go there for a weekend, you enjoy yourself, you might go to the rooftop bar, maybe you have a couple of drinks, but you have a good workout, you sleep really well, and you'll have a fantastic experience.
Yeah. So this Hudayriat destination seems to me that has its own emerging identity. How do you see this destination helping people rethink how they live, move, and connect? I mean, and there's that community aspect.
I mean, one thing about Modon is, we are not a typical real estate developer. We develop whole master plan. So Dreieck is 67% or 57% of the land mass of Abu Dhabi. It's a huge island. So we are able to really master plan and I would say do it right. So we are creating connected living where people want to buy real estate because they can enjoy that lifestyle. They have access to the beaches, they have access to sports facilities. If, for example, you're a horse lover, we have one section of the islands where you can keep even your own horse close to your house. You have horse trails, you have biking trails, etc. So we are really creating that lifestyle that will eventually, obviously, elevate the price and the attractiveness of the real estate, because that's how we obviously funding our master plans. But in a sense, we are we're looking at a higher agenda. Our agenda is not just to build a golf course and put 200 villas and sell those villas and go on. We have certainly a duty, in a sense, to provide these experiences to our customers. And that's what we're doing the same thing on the north coast of Egypt, where we have an even larger development. It is the land size of Barcelona, has 50 kilometers of coastline, etc. So it's really building a destination and building a lifestyle on the north coast of Egypt. That's two of our biggest projects.
Okay. So when a resort becomes a catalyst for personal growth rather than just to stay, what new opportunities does that create for the hospitality sector? Because I think you're doing something that many developers have not really even noticed this idea.
Yeah, I think sometimes you go to a resort, you go once, you enjoyed it, but you don't go back.
Yeah.
So offering these programs will some on people who train. Obviously, they will come back because of the facilities, right? Because they want to train and they need these facilities, the cycling tracks, etc., etc. But if you want to develop yourself and you're going to come back to the resort with a purpose, and obviously I'm sure you'll be. I hope you'll be happy with the service and the experience and the people, etc. But then you want to go back to continue training, So if you started a program, you want to go back, etc. And we obviously will apply some technologies where we can keep in touch with you, and you can then continue training even if you're not at the resort, right? So on the moment you come back to the resort, we can really personalize your training program according to what you really need and what you want. So for me, will really create repeat business, which is always what you want in a hotel. And also, hopefully, our guests will recommend to stay there to their friends and families, etc.
Interesting. So if the industry began measuring success by the positive health impact on guests, how would that change the way Modern designs and operates its hotels from now on?
Yeah, I think we put a lot of emphasis, obviously, on how we build our hotels, to make them obviously ESG compliant, etc. It's a very at the center of all that we do. From an operation, the same thing. I always say it's so nice when you can start with a white paper, a clean sheet. And I was privileged to be able to start a couple of brands, etc. So, and I saw the issues when you work with more established brands that have so much legacy. So it gives you a couple of things. One is that we can really think out of the box and do things differently. We don't have to, follow rules. So that's why we can explore some different opportunities, like we're doing with Olympia. And we're going to do with our two new brands that we are going to launch in Q1 of next year. So I think that's definitely an area that we are going to look at.
Very good. So this resort now is it open, or when will you officially open the resort? on Hudaydah Island?
Will open. Will open in May. So now we're in pre-opening, and we obviously have our leadership team on board, etc. So it's, for me, it's always exciting. I'm sure you have been through a couple of openings in your career, and it's just exciting to see the team coming together. Very motivated. And again, we're trying to really change, and we started with the culture, and we developed our own modern hospitality culture, which I think is close to my heart. We have a team coming in March that will help facilitate the development of the Olympia culture. What does it mean for the team members to work at Olympia? Number one, when we interview people, we ask them, can you do 100 push-ups? Just joking. But certainly, I guess you have to be fit if you want to join Olympia, and you have to be interested. We want people that are really passionate about sports and active lifestyle. I take very often, I take the example of an Apple store, right? We all know Apple stores, and for me, it's always the employees are so in love with the brands that they can sell you anything. And we want really our colleagues to be in love with Olympia, to really transmit that that enthusiasm to our guests, right? So super exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a very exciting brand. I mean, I've been following what different kind of brands are doing, and you're doing something exceptional. And obviously, I'm very pleased that you asked that you want to talk about this new venture with me on the Social Hotelier. So that's really appreciated. So, Mark, thank you for joining me once again. Your perspective on performance, well-being, and purposeful hospitality adds real depth to the conversation, and it's inspiring to hear how the vision behind Olympia is taking shape. And your commitment to active living, both personally and professionally, sets a powerful example for our industry. So to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. If today's discussion sparked new ideas about travel, how you'd like to travel, movement and recovery can come together, I encourage you to follow the development on Hudaydah Island and the evolution of Olympia Resort Abu Dhabi. This is the Social Hotelier podcast. I'm Sam-Erik and look forward to welcoming you to the next episode. Stay well, keep moving, and continue shaping the future of hospitality.